Hello guys, what's up? In this tutorial we will talk about night rendering in Enscape for SketchUp, and I think it's one of the newest tutorials which related to the Enscape. So this is the daylight rendering that you can see in here, and I want to show how we can create some super realistic night render in different type of projects. So this is the example of it, and you can use it in different type of projects and perspectives. So I'm going to start my job by pressing F on my keyboard and click on the night number 1 in here. And you can see the camera will be switched for me like this. Don't worry about the environment and setting. All of them will be done step by step. So I'm going to minimize Enscape in here and SketchUp at the left side. So if I zoom in my environment, you can see some spotlights which I add by here, Enscape objects, spotlight. And the point is that these are not spotlights, there are IES profiles. So you can download 13 ModLove IES profiles below this video. I will upload the link of them. And another light which we have in the environment is the sphere lights in here inside of my job. So I'm going to delete this one and another one in here. I'm going to delete them because I want to show you how you can add them and use them in your projects. Very simple and easy. Next item in here. And I think finally everything is done. So we have some extra light in here which is not really important, and everything is fine. And I have some line light in here which you can see it like that. When I go near to my job, this is my line light, this one. So the materials, all of them completely related to the Enscape, and I want to show how we can add these lights. First of all, I'm going to close the Enscape in here, click on the SketchUp, press Ctrl S, and I want to show how we can work with different type of lights. First of all, you need to close Enscape 3.5.6 because when Enscape is on, you can't add your lights, and sometimes it will jump out from the plugin, and I think it's one of the bugs which related to the Enscape. So you need to click on the Enscape objects in here. You have 5 type of lights. So I'm going to click on the spotlight. How we can draw a spotlight in our 3D projects. First of all, you need some straight line on the Z axis. So I'm going to click on here. If you want some light from upside to downside, you need to move your cursor on the upside. Or if you want some spotlight from downside to upside, you need to work opposite. Like that and like this. With triple clicks, I create my spotlight. But this is Enscape spotlight, and it's not really good in the quality and preview and light calculation. So we have some option in here which name is load IES profile. You can check this box in here or click on this folder icon. Both of them work completely same. So I'm going to click on the, for example, number 25.ies. I don't know what type of it. I only want to click on the open and everything is fine. Next light which I want to add to my job is the sphere light. Click on the Enscape object, the sphere, and double click in your screen like that. Very simple and easy. So I'm going to move this sphere light in here and this spotlight in here. Click on the Start Enscape, and I want to show you how we can work with these type of lights. Very simple and easy, only in a few clicks. First of all, when I open the Enscape in here, you can see what really happened. The spotlight have some high power value for the lighting, and this is the sphere light, like the sphere in here. So I'm going to click on the spotlight, minimize SketchUp, Enscape, click on it, click on the Enscape objects, and increase the power as I can. And you can see some shadow in this part of your job. Maybe it's hard to see, so I need to move it to some dark area, for example this area. Move my camera. Alright, now you can see what really happened. This is your spotlight power, and you can move it to the upside, change the angle of it, and change the power of it as you can, something like this. IES profiles work really great, so I prefer to use IES lights beside spotlights. But sometimes you need to change the color of your lights. So you need to click on the paint bucket in here and, for example, select pink color and add it to your spotlight. And you can see what's really happened. If I click on the edit mode and I play with the lights color in here, I mean, when I play with the color in the SketchUp paint bucket, I can change the main color of it like that, very simple and easy, and it's not really hard work in here. So it's about that. I'm going to click on the sphere light. So I'm going to look at it, add this texture to this sphere light, and you can see what's really happened. Your environment will be completely changed, and it's really fine for interior lighting in exterior renders and shots. So I'm gonna close it in here, click on the move option, move this sphere light inside of my project, for example someplace like that, take another copy to the second floor, go inside, another click in here, and move your light in this part of your job. Sorry, I think I don't snap it with my cursor, so I need to do this job another time. I'm really sorry about it. So I'm going to move inside, click on it, press move, control, copy activated for me, and now I only want to click it inside of my job, and you can see what really happened like that. I think it's really wonderful. But in this part of my job, I need some separated light. So you need to right click on it in the SketchUp environment and click on the make unique, because lights in Enscape are components. So select it and take another copy in the downside, for example, someplace like that, and delete these extra light in here. So everything is fine for me. I don't need this spotlight in here. I'm gonna completely remove it. And about the yard and site plan, we have some outdoor lights and furniture. So I'm going to click on the sample paint in here, move very slow inside of my outdoor light, pan in here, and select the surface if you can see it. If I click on it, metal coordinate shiny will be selected for me. Click on the Enscape material editor, find metal shiny, and change the generic to the self-illuminate. And you can see what's really happened. Now you have these lights in your job, and I think it's really fine. Don't worry about the environmental lighting. We will fix them completely easy and useful. So I'm going to click on the Enscape environment, press F, night number 1 in here. So I'm going to start my job by adjusting my lights. I'm going to move Enscape at the right side, SketchUp in the left side. So I'm going to click on the Enscape material editor, metal will be selected for me. First of all, I need to reduce the power of this outdoor lights because they are self-illuminated. Luminance is about 80 candela. Color is about some warm color like this, and another one like this. You can reduce it to the 60 candela. Roughness is about 0. And I think specular can be reduced to the 40, something like that. So about the another light, I want to select these hidden wall light in my SketchUp environment. Click on it, select this line, snow, and reduce the power of it a little bit, something like this, 44. It's fine. Next item, which is really useful for my job, is the sphere lights, which are inside of my 3D project. So I need to select them like that, move it a little bit to the back side, click on the Enscape object in here and reduce the luminance intensity. You can see what really happened. If you don't like to see this high reflection on the roof and ceiling, you can add some distance between these light and roof, or make it to the midpoint of this room. It's a little bit complicated and you need to train with your projects to reach to the good result. Something like that is enough for me in here. I can click on the sample paint, pick the color of it, and in the Enscape environment I can change the color, self-illuminate, wheat color, or you can use some orange color, something like that will happen for you, but I really don't like it, so try to manage your lightings, something like that, and reduce the power of it to the 3300 candela. Roughness is about 0. And now time for adjusting another sphere light. So I'm gonna select this one in here, move it from upside to the downside as I can, something like that. Click on the color, change the color of it like this, and I need to change the spotlight's power. So I'm gonna click on one of these colors, for example Bisco, add it to my lights, and you can see the changes in here and here. For the wall lights and wall wash lights, I need to change their colors too. So I can add them one by one because I need some accurate job. Like that, like this one, and this one. So this is the last one. And another type of color for these spotlights in here. For example, maybe this sandy brown is not bad because I need totally some warm lights for my job, and I think it's really valuable. So you can add it one by one. Be patient because lighting is one of the hard works in rendering, especially night renders. So everything is fine in here. Check all the details. Click on the Enscape, and now time for masterizing your render. So only one step left in here, which is related to this light in the interior. I need to move it to the downside to make these type of lighting, and I think it's really wonderful. And another lighting about interior in here. Click on it, move it to the downside, and move it in this part of my job and this part of my job, and another one in here. So everything is fine, and you can see the changes. Come back to the Enscape environment, click on the save frame, click on the visual setting, and the work will be start till now. My rendering quality on the draft mode, I need to change it to the high mode. It takes a little bit time now. You have brighter screen because Enscape calculates more lights with more power and realisticness in your environment. So I'm gonna reduce the field of view as I can, but I have some problem with this resolution. So I'm gonna close it in here. Click on the visual setting, output, custom, and add some 1:1 resolution in here. Click on the main bar, and now reduce your field of view as you can. Some number about 36 is enough, and this part will be failed, so try to manage it. Something like this, 54, and I'm gonna increase the exposure a little bit. If you turn off the auto exposure, now you can re-expose your screen manually, but it's not really enough for this job. So I think 58% is enough. I'm going to turn on the depth of field, turn off the autofocus, and now I can play with the focal point. Night renders in Enscape are really wonderful because you can add some super realistic lights for your job. Something like that. 23.30, and depth of field is about 11. You can see the water and reflection of these lights on water, so it's really amazing in different type of projects like this. Outline is not really useful and suggested. Change the rendering quality to the ultra to see all the lights completely wonderful. Click on the image bar, use the auto contrast. Saturation is not bad, but I can increase it to the 104. And if you want some warm lighting, you can reduce the color temperature to the 4900 Kelvin. Motion blur is 0. Reduce the bloom option because sometimes it can disturb your lighting. 32% for the lens flare is enough. Vignette is not really meaningful in here, so try to use some decayed number. For example, 22% is enough. Chromatic aberration is 0, and atmosphere. Fog option is not really important in the night rendering. Some brightness is not really useful, but night sky brightness. Look at the environment in here. If I increase the night sky brightness, I can add some brightness background in my job, so I try to use this. 200% is enough. Shadow sharpness is 0 because I need some soft shadows. Artificial light brightness can be managed from here, and all of these lights are artificial lights. So in the night rendering in Enscape, artificial light brightness is one of the most useful and valuable parameters for your job. Try to hold it on some high value number. 124% is enough. Ambient brightness is about 20, and wind intensity is about 0. Come back to the skybox in here. My source is white cubes. Turn off the density, size amount, and you can see some clear sky like that. So now you can increase the density a little bit to create some mesmerizing and realistic rendering this part of your job. So count rail is about 0, and we have one trick in Enscape. Look at these moon in here. If I increase the moon size, you can see what really happened. The moon size will be increased for you, and you can create some interesting renders. 400% is enough for this value, or 366% is enough. Come back to the output, everything is fine, main bar is checked. I will increase the exposure to the 59, close it in here, and turn the perspective to the 2-point perspective. So I need to minimize Enscape in here, and I want to fix one of these lights. I think this one have some problems. Click on it, Enscape objects, and reduce the power of it as you can. Something like this is not bad. So 100. Light source radius is not really important in here. You can play with it, but right now it's not really useful because we don't have any interior lighting. So everything is fine, but I think some of these spotlights make my screen a little bit burned out. So click on it, Enscape object, and reduce the light source power near to the 0. For example, 10 is enough for this part of my job. And for this lights, Enscape objects, 20 is enough. If you want to show your lights more and more, you need to texturize your job. So click on the Enscape material editor. Click on the paint bucket, select your facade design material in here, and add some dark tint color like this one. And in these type of textures, your lighting will be much more realistic. 0.16 is enough. And I want to make my tint color a little bit more dark than the other times. Or maybe silver tint is enough for me. Or maybe dim gray or gray is enough. Image fade can be decreased to the 88%. Another texture that is really useful in lighting is the marble in my pool offset. Click on it, marble will select it for you. Remove the roughness, reduce the roughness. It means increase the reflection, and you can see more reflection in these edges. 4% is enough. Metallica is about 16, and the specular is about 88 in these type of renders. Next material I think can be really useful is the water. Click on the water in here, and if you play with the water wave height and scale, you can adjust new type of numbers for it, something like that, and caustic intensity on the 98%. Try to memorize it. And the last texture, I think this part of my floor, click on it. It will select it for you in the Enscape material editor. Normal map is about 66. Remove the roughness, reduce the roughness to the 2% and 4% for this one. I think everything is done. We can see a part of our job, interior job, and it's about the floor. So you can click on the sample paint, pick it up, Enscape material editor, and reduce the roughness as you can to create more realistic render like this, because it's completely effective on your lighting. So everything is fine for us, and I only need to adjust one of these line lights in here. So I'm going to click on the paint bucket, select it. It's on the self-illuminated light in here, and the material name, I don't know what is it. It's the color, so you can change it tomato. You can change it to the self-illuminating here, and you can see the changes in this part of your job. You can change it to the red color, for example, something like this, or click on the advanced mode and change the color by your own type and the thing that you really want to change. For example, something like orange, light orange. And it's fine for us right now. Click on the Enscape, click on the output. Ultra HD will select it for me, and play with the field of view, something like that. 74 degrees enough. And now time for the rendering. So click on the render option in here and save it on your desktop and press save. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If this tutorial useful for you, please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Thanks for your time, thanks for watching, and goodbye.